That's ridiculously low. Hello, would I buy a Tesla again? Well, I'm going to help you decide in a few minutes if buying a Tesla is worth it, based on my experience owning one for the last 11 months. And that's if you're thinking of buying one, and if you've already got one, stick around, see if you agree with me or not. Huge difference. The lowest priced Tesla is a Model 3 standard range, and currently the start price for a Tesla in the US is $48,490. And it's exactly the same amount in the UK except in pounds. Although the pound is worth more than $1, the UK government are working day and night to bring in the value down, so they will soon be the same value as the dollar. Not really, very few of them do more than a couple of hours work a day. In the US, the EV federal and state discounts vary, but Teslas say on their website $40,390 is the price you will pay, which includes potential incentives and gas savings. They used to show these savings on the UK website. They don't anymore. I always found them a little bit misleading, and whatever price was there, I always took the highest price. The UK price is much dearer because we pay 20% VAT tax on cars. The US, obviously, it's much less. We don't have any EV discounts, as they were taken away this year when the climate change conference was over, as our government don't care about the environment with all their oil billionaire friends and former party donors. So I bought my Tesla 11 months ago at £42,090 in blue, and now it costs £49,590, an extra £7,500, and that's an increase of 17% in 11 months. Its used value has increased surprisingly, as I have looked to see its value from national dealers that buy any car, and it keeps going up above my purchase price, even with 8,000 miles on the clock. My Tesla, for the 11 months I've owned it, was charged at home mostly, and Tesla superchargers and public chargers for the total 8,000 miles I have driven it. Home charging is 5p a kilowatt, and I've done 3,300 miles, and it cost me £38. That's ridiculously low. Just imagine how much gas or petrol you could get for that. So Tesla's superchargers, I've done a total of 3,500 miles. That was by far the most expensive thing at £372. Public chargers varied in price between 20p and 57p a kilowatt, and I did 400 miles, costing me £35, and I had quite a lot of free destination charges. I did over 685 miles, and that was free. So my total for charging the 8,000 miles comes out at £445. So I'm going to compare my Tesla Model 3 with my Audi A3, rightly or wrongly, as my point of reference, the car I had before the Tesla. So I'd driven 8,000 miles in my Tesla, and the Audi I had before the Tesla did 45 miles per gallon, and the 8,000 miles would be 175 gallons at about £7.50 a gallon. That works out at £1,312 for diesel. Obviously gas, diesel will vary depending on where you are. So we saved £867. The Audi costs £1,312 and the Tesla costs £445. So the Tesla electric price is about a third of gas. That's quite a big saving. If I only charged at home at night and didn't go on any road trips and didn't need the Tesla superchargers, it would only have cost me £90 for 8,000 miles. A saving of over £1,200. Yes, I know prices are going up. The new price for nighttime charging is going to be 7.5p a kilowatt. So that would increase the £90 for the 8,000 miles charging to £135, or just 10% of the cost of gas, diesel, which is just a fraction of the price. There is an alternative new nighttime rate at 21.16 kilowatt, which, although is a massive price increase, if you only charged at home 8,000 miles, the electricity would still only cost you £384. Even with the price hikes, a higher rate of 30p a kilowatt, charging 8,000 miles is still only £557 for 8,000 miles, remembering that the gas price diesel for the Audi was £1,312. So if you can't charge at home, should you buy a Tesla or an electric vehicle? I would suggest you shop around the public chargers. For example, many of the UK and Charge Place Scotland prices are often 20 and 25p a kilowatt, which means that my 8,000 miles would only cost £363 at 20p a kilowatt, or £454 at 25p a kilowatt, compared to gas for my Audi, which was £1,312. So for all these calculations, I have taken the actual miles that my Tesla does, not the miles that Tesla say it should do. In other words, the real world range. And in most cases, I've taken the average of when I'm fully charged at 50 kilowatts, it would do 220 miles, not the 263 that Tesla says that it would do. And I know the newer models now are doing over 300, so that's the basis. So I could make the prices look even better than I am, but I'm trying to be as real as possible. I only live in a small town. I'm lucky to charge at home, but we have two public chargers. A Genie Point that costs 57p a kilowatt. That would work out at £1,045 for 8,000 miles. That's by far the dearest that I've come across yet. But I know there are one or two even dearer than that, as high as 69p. We also have New Motion. That's only 25p a kilowatt. And that would be £454, a huge difference. Genie Point isn't the most expensive, and on a long trip maybe the price isn't the most important thing to think about, but charging where you live, if you can't charge at home, is worth looking around and taking a look at the Zap Map app just to see where all the chargers are, and it will tell you exactly how much they cost per kilowatt, and you may be surprised at how many around you are free, especially in supermarkets. My Wi-Fi isn't good for my Tesla parked where I live in my drive, so for the Tesla software upgrades I have to pay extra data for the Wi-Fi phone hotspots, and it cost me £180 extra in data fees in the last 11 months since September. I also pay the premium connectivity showing traffic hold-ups and the green map instead of grey, and that cost me £10 a month, and it can be cancelled at any time, so that cost me a further £100 a year. So my total cost other than electric is £280. When I look back at my Audi servicing repair bills, I average annually £750 a year. Road tax was only £30 a year, and obviously the Tesla is zero, as it has zero emissions, and some people are paying as much as £520 a year. All electric vehicles are zero in the UK. So my Audi costs £780 repairs, servicing and tax, and my Tesla has no servicing, repairs or tax, but £280 costs, which is £500 less on top of my saving of £867, plus 500 means that I'm currently saving £1,367, and the car has not devalued anything yet after almost 8,000 miles. I'd forgotten about insurance. Well, that was £100 more for the Tesla than the Audi, and so my savings have come down from £1,367 to £1,267 in a year. Before buying the Tesla, we were thinking of going on another cruise, but because of COVID, we decided on a Scottish road trip in the new Tesla, costing half the price, saving several £1,000s, and I'm not including that saving in the price of the car, but I could. The LFP battery is great. You get a lot bigger range, charging to 100% most of the time instead of 80 and 90% charging, and the battery uses fewer of the Earth's valuable resources, so I'm all in favour of that. So yes, I do love the LFP battery. It's impossible to put a price driving a great car, and the CO2 savings are huge, but if you don't care about any of that, the financial savings are big, although it's dearer to purchase initially unless you, of course, you lease one. So my conclusion is, if you're thinking of buying a Tesla, would I recommend you do the same as me after my 11 months of owning one? And the answer is, if you charge at home, yes, as long as it doesn't put you into big debt. You could always lease one. And if it does put you into big debt, if you wanted to buy it and not lease, then why not buy an MG? I certainly would have done if I couldn't have afforded the Tesla. And I'll be honest, there have been many times in my life when I definitely couldn't have afforded one. I had to save up quite a long time to get it. If you can't charge at home, look at how much you can charge at local public chargers using the ZapMap app. Or can you charge at work, family, friends, or at the supermarket? If you charge at family and friends, you need to know their cost per kilowatt, which is on their bills, and the total kilowatts of your car, and what percentage you filled it in electricity to find out exactly how much you owe them. Yes, I would buy the car again. Yes, 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 as long as I could afford it. It's a wonderful car to drive, and much more fun driving around the UK and Europe next year than on a cruise with a load of old people who have never heard of Mr. Beast, Mark Roper, Tom Scott, The Fully Charged Show and Electroheads, and they think that YouTube is only watched by the grandchildren. What do you think? Please leave your comments below. Please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and like if you did. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time, and hopefully you can take your reusable mug wherever you go. All the best. Bye.